All right, I think it started. All right, it's Mudita Heart here,
This is PRpHD here.
and we're here to talk
Eat
about.
too much pasta.
I ate too much pasta, and
Stay away from everybody.
the carbo loading has not kicked in terms of converting to energy. I'm like processing right now, so I'm a
Conservation of energy and mass.
little
which is what you need
sluggish.
to know about Asteroid City.
Yeah, even though I've had a wardrobe change, we did the Barbie review earlier today, but now we're doing Asteroid City right now.
Yeah.
Asteroid City.
Yeah.
Non-spoiler, yeah. Non-spoiler. I don't think we need to get into spoilers too much. I mean, like, if you get into spoilers, you have to explain the whole plot, really.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll just kind of talk about what's necessary. And, but yeah, we watched this on July 4th after a false start before using our Regal Unlimited. And we watched it as the same day as Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And
This was a better movie.
this was much more entertaining.
I did like watching Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny later on. Like, it's flawed.
Yeah, I feel like when you're like going to the movie theater, you're going through all the trouble of like, wow, I'm gonna experience cinema, and then you maybe like paid $15 for a movie ticket.
Yeah.
You bought your popcorn and a drink. You're paying like
And your
$70 for two people, and or like for a family of four or whatever.
Yeah.
And you go to Indiana Jones, and you're like, I just wasted all that, man. Like,
Exactly,
it was
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But Asteroid City felt well worth the experience. Like, you're getting your money's worth, you know.
My film of the year.
Yeah, I think that's really fair enough to say. I don't blame you. I don't really know what my film of the year is, really. But Asteroid City's right up there. Yeah.
Focus Features.
Focus Features, yeah. Technically, that's Fox.
I think it's Universal.
It's Universal. Right. And that's why it's on Peacock, also.
Yeah.
And we're talking about this on August 27th, and Asteroid City has been recently released on Peacock. So
It felt like it was... We're lucky we even watched it in the theater because they just took it off right away. Put it straight on Peacock.
it's Wes Anderson in the streaming era, so they're like...
Like, why didn't you just do a simultaneous release? It was basically what that was.
They want to get a little bit of box office revenue.
Yeah,
you know it's going to be limited, but you got to get in there somehow.
I actually think at a certain point, Ukraine's highest grossing film was Asteroid City.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's counter programming to Indiana Jones and stuff. So it's
Counter programming to like everything basically because
I think so.
you don't really have too many Wes Anderson clones.
Yeah, it's very it's not. It's going to be in
He's got a monopoly on the Wes Anderson market.
Unless you're
Unless it's
you're
like
putting
Patrick
him-
H. Williams X-Men or something.
or unless you're putting him up against. Are you talking about the YouTube video?
Yeah.
The Wes Anderson parody.
Yeah.
Or unless you're putting him up against like Yorgos Lanthimos or whatever with the lobster or whatever.
No, that's not. No, they're too unique to each other.
Too unique.
Yeah.
That's the thing with auteurs, you know. But like the thing is, like, do you think somebody would rather watch only one of the two things, only Wes Anderson or Lanthimos or whatever, or would they, like cannibalize each other's sales in any
You
way?
mean like Barbenheimer or something?
Yeah, like Barbenheimer or whatever.
I did mention like the whole Warner Brothers versus Universal this summer.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like in that respect a little bit like I don't. Also, like I just don't have enough time because I have a lot of work this summer. Also, that's
People
the
don't have
thing.
enough time. They only have to watch one movie. Either you watch Asteroid City or Indiana Jones, or you're like us and.
I felt like that was like a big recession thing in 2019 because like no one had enough time to go watch boxing live. It was like dude, you have to go there. It's like 8 hours. Like
Yeah.
you have to go to work and make money opposed to spending money and not making money.
Yeah, this is turning into a finance discussion, but consumer discretionary has like gone up over the past couple of years a little bit after like stimulus checks and the economy recovering after post-pandemic supply chains getting fixed up and stuff. So people feel like they have a little bit of disposable income. They're gonna go watch Barbie.
Yeah.
They're gonna go watch Taylor Swift. They're gonna go check out other concerts and stuff, Billy Joel, whatnot. But yeah, it's people have some money now and they have some time, but that's where we're at right now in this cycle.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Asteroid City on Peacock.
It's discretionary.
Discretionary. Consumer discretionary. Consumer cyclical.
Yeah.
There's another word for it. Consumer cyclical.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to this movie. Let's watch the trailer, and then we're going to get into a brief discussion on like how this movie is even formatted and what you're watching when you watch it.
This is totally not like a Wes Anderson trailer. You won't pick it up as a Wes Anderson trailer at all.
It's going to be very clearly a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Yeah. Turn the volume down and do some commentary. Indian paintbrush. See, you got the framing of the shots here, classic Wes Anderson style.
Back then, it was probably a very unique cut doing that double cut thing.
Yeah, this was actually very unique, and like I don't know how they synchronized the phone call. You know, that probably took some work.
I always think is that like the kid who's playing the main character is that like Buster's kid or something?
Woodrow.
Yeah, is that like Buster's kid from Arrested? Is that the guy who plays Buster's actor's kid from Arrested Development?
In real life?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Scarlett
Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. There's
Post Black Widow.
There's a mushroom cloud. Yeah, she's gotten out of the clutches of Disney's grasp now.
Yeah, that's like a lot. You're making lines with the actual framing of the shot there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very much about like, he's very much about the tension of like, you know, point symmetry and stuff like that.
Oh, the Sunday school kids. The alien. The alien was pretty epic.
Yeah, the alien's very important.
And they sort of spoil who that is in the credits if you don't want to watch that while you're skimming through the beginning.
So yeah.
I start picturing him like not even dressed up and be like, I'm the alien.
Yeah, interesting. They're saying all this stuff in the trailer, but I didn't remember any of this, you know?
I'll be honest, I don't know if I actually watched the trailer. I'm just like, it's Wes Anderson. Like,
yeah.
What do you need to watch the trailer for?
I don't necessarily need to watch the trailer. I mean, like, I think I probably did watch the trailer.
If you have no interest in Wes Anderson, and you're watching this review, I don't know what you're watching it for, other than you just want to skip the movie or something.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want to watch the movie anyway if you're a Wes Anderson fan. That's kind of one of my comments.
Yeah.
It's like if you're already into Wes Anderson, but you know, if you're not into Wes Anderson yet,
no,
maybe we can pitch it to you. Yeah, here's the cast, the massive cast.
Oh yeah,
Margot Robbie was in this. I forgot.
Oh, they don't say who Jeff Goldblum is. Interesting. Oh, they have this scene. Wow, that's interesting.
So kind of quirky humor and stuff. This film is not yet rated.
Roman Coppola. I didn't know that.
Cool.
I remember that.
He was like co-writer with Wes Anderson. Yeah.
But it's not every film he's a co-writer, right?
Not all of them. Yeah.
I wonder if the Roman Coppola written films are better than the non-Roman Coppola written films.
Yeah. Okay. Asteroid City. There we go. There's the title card.
Yeah.
Photographed on Kodak film. That's cool. It's a throwback.
Yeah, we were just talking about Kodak the other day walking by whatever.
Yeah. Kodak is a classic photography company.
Yeah.
Very historical, very integral to the development of consumer photography and
big in Walt Disney World, big in like film versus digital. That was a whole concern in 2008.
They could have been like a big tech company at some point too, along with like.
Did they have like bought like Adobe or something?
Along with like Xerox and stuff.
Oh, I understand.
Or maybe I'm mistaking them for Xerox. I don't remember.
There you go. Yeah.
But they were like considered like they were probably
like Kodak it.
They were probably considered like a big tech company before there was tech companies, you know?
In the 40s or something?
Yeah, in like the 40s, 50s, 60s,
well,
whatever.
The photograph, this is the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, consumer photography, you know?
Oh yeah, before it's just probably like big corporations doing it, right?
Right.
Specialist photographers.
Yeah, I mean like home video was like a new field.
Yeah.
Alright, Okay, so what is going on? This is a big movie. There's 3 acts in it, and sometimes there's a lot of layers that keep going, it feels like. There's tons of characters, tons of dialogue, tons of different sets, and there's several main story through lines, but there's like 2 main settings, so we have to break that down a little bit to, I don't know, give you a taste of like what to expect without like getting into it like too exhaustively.
I felt like this, how they structured the film, was more of a Christopher Nolan film than Oppenheimer was, as some said, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And it's kind of fun to like if you're just watching it cold, just watch it cold. If you're already into Wes Anderson, just watch it cold. But if you want a little bit of a taste of like what's going on in this movie, feel free to listen to this part.
Yeah.
But there's like two main settings, and they kind of alternate between the two, and like you're kind of discovering how it's being delivered to like in a way that will be legible to the audience. And at some points it was a little overwhelming for me to follow, but for the most part I could follow that, like the swap between the two. But here's what they are. So in one setting, actors and a playwright are making a play called Asteroid City about the behind the scenes of the making of the play. And that making of the play is set on a stage or on the backstage in black and white footage. And it features Edward Norton as the playwright. I said the word play and stage and making a lot in a row. Is that what you were thinking?
I was thinking that like it's probably what the narrator himself actually said. That confused the crap out of everyone when we were watching the movie. Also, like when we watched the movie, there's like only 4 people in the theater, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we like.
Some guy ran there and was like, "You dweebs! Stop watching Wes Anderson."
Yeah. I think like we tried to watch it like after Elemental and what's that other exhausting movie? The Flash.
Yeah.
But it was like too much to watch it after that. But we did sign up for it under Regal Unlimited, and we dropped into the theater just to see what was happening, and we stopped in for like 5 seconds. It felt like,
yeah.
And we're like, this is too much for us now, man. We got to get out of here. So, And then there's the one setting. There's the setting of the play with the playwright as Edward Norton. And then the actors are mostly the actors in the play. And then there's the play within the story. So there's the acting out of the fictional play. And that's done in color shots, but filmed as film with on-set filming, no stage, and formatted as a 3-act play. So to visualize this, Edward Norton and like a couple actors are in black and white. They're like making the play. They're talking to each other about how to make the play. He's like on a typewriter and stuff sometimes and writing it, and like they're talking about like, oh, my character, what am I doing now? That's all in black and white. Then there's the fictional play itself. That's in color, and it's in the settings that are like in the desert. It's like very orange with a blue sky. It's all the things that are in color shots that are looking like this. And most of the trailer was in that kind of style. Yeah, maybe having the trailer have parts in black and white would be too intimidating for audiences or something. Who knows?
That's a big thing.
Like the marketing. It's like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. It's in black and white.
Yeah.
So, what's happening?
Meanwhile, like it was like 2000s or 2010s Oscar, where you're like black and white and give the Oscar.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is a summer release for a Wes Anderson film. Usually he's under the Oscar bait season in like the winter, and his films are kind of like more tragic and depressive and stuff, kind of melancholic or whatever. So it's usually a winter movie. Yeah. Usually it's a winter movie rather than a summer season movie. Yeah. Similar to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was also a summer season movie this year, even though it's typically done during the winter.
I felt like Oppenheimer made sense because it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
As an IMAX.
Yeah.
It was the whole Barbenheimer walking thing.
And like it was also trying to like capitalize on like Christopher Nolan's name for like making like Batman.
He always makes like
so
he's like the highest grossing like non-franchise grossing director of all time now after Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he makes blockbuster indie movies or whatever it feels like. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then yeah. And so, there's the two settings. So in the play, there's several kids and their families are in this town of Asteroid City to celebrate the kids' scientific inventions, and they're there to receive their scholarship in this town where a meteorite once crashed. They bond with each other, they share their vulnerabilities, their kids and their families. Everything's relatively normal until a supernatural event changes what's in store for them while they're in their visit to this town. Feels pretty safe summary, I guess.
I felt like you were doing either one of two things. You're either a director and telling the crew what this whole film's about, or two, you're doing a comedy bit, you're trying to explain it, and it was really tough, so it's very awkward. Yeah, I don't know.
how I was delivering it was kind of...
No, it was just like how we were like, in the beginning, we were like, oh, I used to playwright and stage and play and making of and dance scenes and...
Yeah. Yeah, I was switching between the two.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through this review, man.
I know, I'm just saying, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because, like, I wrote this before. Maybe this one was better, and then this one I kind of wrote kind of awkwardly.
We sort of rushed this, yeah. We're doing these back to back.
This is really fast how we're getting all this done. We're not professionals. We're not getting paid. We're no budget for this.
Do you want a little more AC, by the way?
You want to do it? Okay,
yeah, sure.
I'll do it. A little bit more AC, and then we'll get back to this.
Yeah.
And then the play outside the play is about the playwright writing the play and the actors figuring out how to play their roles. It's kind of like a little bit like Drive My Car, if you ask me.
Drive My Asteroid City.
Drive My Car, starring
Shin Kamen
Rider. There we go.
Or Kamen Rider Black Sun.
Also Haruki Murakami.
Yeah.
Kind of that kind of vibe.
I would picture Wes Anderson as the guy who reads Haruki Murakami.
Yeah. Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. He's a writer,
Yeah. And yeah, I want to. There's a lot of screenshots. There's a lot of screenshots of this film. But I definitely want to get this poster here.
The poster is very interesting because like half the poster is just listing the cast.
Yeah, like it's very hard to describe Wes Anderson films and without spoilers or like turning people away. So sometimes all they do is just show the cast and that gives you.
Let's not tell everybody it's a Wes Anderson film. Let's just say the whole cast was in the film.
Yeah, and that's the selling point for people. Like, oh, it's got Steve Carell, and like, why isn't he doing Steve Carell things or whatever?
Yeah.
But hopefully
she said.
Yeah, there you go, The Office and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, that's how they do things like The Big Short by Adam McKay or whatever. They have like a big star, but then they also get type to play against type or whatever.
Oh no! I shorted the market. I ruined it.
Sell everything. Yeah. Sell. But yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, they play against type. They play against type, but actually, like. Dang it, Michael.
You shorted the market. You ruined the economy. We're going to sell Dunder Mifflin.
I
declare bankruptcy.
I'm not going to stop selling.
You're a manager now. You can't do a salesman's job anymore.
Honestly, like, that's not a great example because Steve Carell was kind of playing towards his type in The Big Short. Because, like, he was kind of like this doofy, kind of not socially aware kind of character in the movie also. It kind of did work. But it definitely wasn't his role in Vice, also by Adam McKay, where... Do you know who Steve Carell played in that?
Al Rumsfeld?
Yeah.
I think he played him because he sort of just looked like him. Yeah.
I think, that too. And I think Tyler Perry's in the movie as Colin Powell. Powell.
I think Tyler Perry... No, not Tom. I think someone else.
Someone else
is in like Kamen Rider Black Dragon Knight and both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Mike Tyson is in some Ip Man movie also.
I saw Mike Tyson yesterday.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
At the boxing match?
Yeah. Yes.
You're saying that funny, but why?
No, that's fine.
Is it not a boxing match? I forget what it was.
It's fine.
Soccer? I forget. What'd you do? What was it? I forget. What? You're not gonna say?
No.
Okay.
No.
Damn it. Alright, but anyway, there's a lot going on in this movie. Moving on. There's a lot of characters. We don't have to describe them exhaustively.
Yeah.
I have the list of them here.
Yeah.
There's a few key characters, like mainly Jason Schwartzman and his family, and then Scarlett Johansson and her kid, and the other science kids, and then a bunch of people in the town and stuff, and the military, and the scientists, adults, and stuff.
Oh yeah, the military thing was a scary shit, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. Overall thoughts about this movie, things to initially have like reactions to.
I think that's the main thing. Yeah.
Like what?
Like the whole military aspect. Like that was such a such a dark climax. Like, you wouldn't picture that from like a Rushmore film or whatever.
Yeah. It kind of did feel like, man, is this like pandemic times kind of stuff going on in this movie or whatever? Like, what's happening?
But yeah, there's like the anti-government sentiment from everywhere in the world and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, here's all the characters. A lot of great shots. There's 256 on IMDb, so we don't have to do all these, of course. How would you rate Asteroid City? Don't prompt
10 out of 10.
There we go.
There's Felix Leiter.
Yeah, there we go. This guy is in everything. He's also in a previous...
He joins the CIA later.
He's also the Watcher in MCU.
He's the Watcher, and wow. he has the best role.
Something about his personality just...
He has a great voice.
People just like casting him in these kinds of serious roles and stuff.
He's always like a minor character.
Yeah, it's just like his baritone voice or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let me see. So thoughts, themes. So let me see. I mean, like, it's got a lot of characters, and like maybe like I mentioned, the core families and stuff.
Yeah, that's the main heart of the story.
And the sci-fi. So it's playing up.
There's a family aspect and there's a sci-fi aspect.
There's a family aspect and the sci-fi aspect, and how they're able to find like family dynamics, living through different fantastical scenarios. I mean, like, there's very clear comparisons to be made with Spielberg, namely like E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
The kid protagonist.
Yeah, kid protagonists, and like, Wes Anderson and Spielberg have lots of experience working with kid protagonists and whatnot.
And on top of this, you have this meta-narrative about the behind-the-scenes of the actual story and play and whatever.
Right. And that's like, I don't even know what to compare that to, really.
I think they had a lot of that, like, in 1920s playwright stuff.
Right. So, like, they might have...
Breaking the fourth wall, as it is.
Breaking the fourth wall. Yeah. So, I'm just picturing, like, I don't know, like, what's it called?
I feel like that's why I'm really drawn to the film, because like, there hasn't been something like that in a long time. I wonder if, like, when Wes Anderson actually turned this into an actual play or something.
Yeah, it feels like classic film or something, or like a classic theatrical experience.
Like Waiting for Godot or something. I don't know what that. I haven't watched the play in a while, but some of that.
Or like Anton Chekhov or something, like Theater of the Absurd, or that kind of thing. There's another kind of theater I was thinking of. But anyway.
English class fun.
Yeah. And then even with the theatrical elements, it still seemed to be invoking Twilight Zone. Also another kind of...
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you wrote it in the notes, but yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah. The sci-fi of the narrator.
Yeah, and Bryan Cranston is like basically like Rod Serling.
Yeah.
Like that was just like was very obvious to me, even though like even though he wasn't like
in the words, or he doesn't look like Rod Serling.
He doesn't look like Rod Serling. He's not like, talking about like Twilight Zone elements or whatever.
I guess
like he just how he was delivering his lines and stuff, and how he was dressed, and like it just invokes that, So
this is why in Universal Studios they're gonna make an Asteroid City ride. It's gonna be like the Tower of Terror.
That'd be pretty cool if they did that. That'd be cool if you could like. The transfer went past Asteroid City or something. That'd be
really cool, yeah.
That'd be fun. The sets would look really cool. I don't know what would be the big
like a Mummy set or something too, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, like, it's Wes Anderson. If you love Wes Anderson, you're gonna love these Wes Anderson tropes and stuff, while also, like, trying to integrate these sci-fi elements in a Spielbergian kind of fashion. So, like, yeah, lots of Wes Anderson tropes. Brilliant children, tragic circumstances, single parents with like widow parents or whatever. Unlikely ensemble casting people against type with both known, unknown, and repeat actors. Poetic and dense dialogue. Narratives within the narrative. Media within media. Books and plays within the film. There's also supernatural scenes, and there's some, I'm not going to say spoilers here, but there's going to be some special effects you'll be familiar with if you've seen other Wes Anderson films. Yeah. But yeah, it's got a ton of like Wes Anderson stuff, and he's kind of using it all as like parts of like his, like different brushes in his canvas that he's painting for his like film and stuff.
Great explainer.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
It was great explainer.
Thanks. It took me some time to like kind of write it all up.
Yeah.
But yeah. And and of course it's got his cinematography, his classic cinematography. You know all this stuff.
I even mentioned it in the trailer. You can see it in the trailer. Even.
It's very clear in the trailer.
You're not. Oh no, that's totally not Wes Anderson.
I mean, anybody could explain the cinematography of Wes Anderson to you, but like, I mean, you could just watch it and you get the sense of like, it's these.
Little thirds.
Little thirds, framing of the shots,
the
using widescreen lenses and stuff. Yeah. And everybody's and like if you've seen, I'm trying to see if you can, he does his own storyboards and stuff. So like he makes his things shot by shot and he draws them up. And like here's, I believe they're talking about Max and doing his classes and stuff. This is like Rushmore. And like he storyboards his own films and stuff, so that's why he knows like what his shots are gonna look like before filming them and stuff. Of course, he adapts them a little bit, but very. And when you watch his films, you're like, that makes sense. It would make sense that he does a storyboard so he knows exactly what shot he wants each time, because there's so many different like framing of shots and stuff that. And he has I believe he has a cinematographer he works with very closely that knows the exact kind of look he's going for. And probably not just the shots, but also like the coloring of the lighting of the shots too, like to have that kind of this like, I think this movie in particular had like a very amber glow to everything in the desert and whatnot, and like the colors were really popping as well.
Yeah.
So visuals are always top of the line with Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Lots of film inspirations, and he's willing to like take all those inspirations and you can kind of get the references to them, but he's really making it his own. It's not like you're gonna think, oh, is this like a Spielbergian movie? No, I mean he's drawing inspiration from Spielberg, but this is definitely a Wes Anderson movie. He's not trying to make a Spielberg movie, which is not what we would want from Wes Anderson anyway. Like it's like having David Lynch direct Star Wars: Return of the Jedi or something, right?
I would like that.
I don't think fans would like it. I don't think George Lucas would like it either. I mean, George Lucas might. I don't know. He was trying to pitch it to him, right?
Yeah.
That's the story. Is that George Lucas was trying to pitch David Lynch on directing Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But if David Lynch was like having like visceral reactions to not wanting to do that.
It's like, this could be great for my career, but at the same time, it could ruin my soul.
I could make so much money doing this, but like, this. Yeah, why would you do this to me, George? This is totally not the thing I do. Yeah. And although David Lynch did do Dune, the original 1980s Dune.
85, I think? Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you regret it. No, he didn't do it. Alan Smithy did it. Right,
he didn't do it. It was me. It was Alan Smithy. I don't know who you're talking about.
It was in Bill's house and Fred's house.
I don't know who you're talking about. My name is Don Incognito. Anyway, of course, meaningful themes around heartbreak, the ambiguity of artistic creation and performance, meta humor around plays within movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt enriching. It wasn't like that long of a movie.
Yeah.
It's like relatively short.
How long was it? Let's see.
Yeah, let's see the runtime. I think it was like in less than 2 hours, of course. It's almost certainly, right? Runtime.
Plus you got Peacock also.
1:45. 1 hour 45.
Cool. You get bang for your buck.
Nice.
After all these, like, all these like blockbusters, they always have to be like 2.5 or 3 hours. Like Wes Anderson's like, no, I'm cutting.
Right. I think Wes Anderson has once been quoted as saying, like, after making a movie, he was like, I'm never gonna do a movie with 3 digits in the number of minutes ever again. Yeah. So like an hour and 40, like 60.
So that's 105.
Yeah, so he just went over by 5 minutes once again. He always does that to himself.
Okay.
How do you feel
this is the best movie ever? Yeah.
How do you feel this movie compares and contrasts with other summer movies we've seen this summer?
I don't know anything else that did the meta stuff. Obviously, it does a bunch of the 1940s aspect stuff, which I don't know why is that happening.
You mean like with Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, The Flash, The Dial of Destiny.
Seems like a theme coming up lately.
Yeah. It's cool that it was part of the Universal versus Warner Brothers war. Sets are very cool. I guess the sets sort of remind me of Barbie.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's something there. Like it's like clearly a stage set, but it's like
except they use a lot of yellow instead of pink.
Yeah, they wanted the desert tone of it all. I think both these movies have reached points in these creators' careers where they're kind of given these auteur theory has given them free reign to kind of like really build out extravagant sets and stuff for their vision.
I do wonder if they feel like this is a slowdown, like we gotta take some chances, otherwise we're gonna lose the whole movie market.
Right, the whole movie market might die off. Like start to I think they were taking more chance. I mean, like Wes Anderson has been kind of plugging along.
Yeah.
He does things under budget. I think. I don't think like
there you
people
go. Yeah, that's why people like him.
He has a good return on investment. You know. Because he has his
there wasn't much of a box office for this. Yeah.
He has no competition, like you said. Like people want to see
Wes Anderson.
He's monopolized the Wes Anderson market.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Barbie was like something that they took a chance on because like you can't just keep making these Dial of Destiny, Disney, Pixar, MCU movies anymore. We got to do something, shake it up if we want to compete with a Barbie movie or something. So we just talked about that Barbie review earlier today.
Yep.
Cool.
I felt like it was a great part of my summer just watching these movies and reviewing everything, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. Go to the movies, check out some stuff.
Yeah.
And use that Regal Unlimited.
Yeah.
It's kind of pricey, but we're kind of running out of movies to watch.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. Yeah. And have a nice time. Check out a nearby neighborhood, get some snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Get some AC.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I feel like this Wes Anderson film is not for people who hate Wes Anderson films. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
People who don't like the twee, kind of like sort of verging on mumblecore, quite minimalist delivering of dialogue, where it's like, oh, it's Steve Carell. Is he going to be like Michael Scott or whatever? And he's just like, hi, I'm here to sell you property here on the premises of Asteroid City. And it's like, what is this? What is
He's a real estate agent.
What's going on?
This has nothing to do with Thunder Before. What's the right truth?
Yeah, I kind of do wonder where that storyline really went with that side plot. There's a lot of side plots in this movie. I think
I felt like it ended.
They do add to the overall texture of the town,
like Shakespeare and all these characters.
Yeah. It's like a symphony. There's a lot of different notes and stuff. It's also not. And speaking of which, this movie is not for people who hate interweaving complicated plots with lots of different characters and this ensemble cast where you can't even see them. See people's faces as zoomed out on the poster. Like you can't even see what's happening. And like, this person's in black and white. This person's in a jetpack or whatever. So yeah, if you don't like that stuff, you're not gonna like this. Especially if it's involving like, oh, they're getting meta. There's a play within a play. Why is this in black and white? Why is this in color? Hopefully, if we explain that, maybe it'll help a bit.
Stop confusing me.
So yeah, not great for that.
Yeah.
Admittedly, this movie, like, while this was like kind of refreshing for us,
and
like kind of like felt like a breath of fresh air. This movie like still involves a lot of tragedy and stuff in classic Wes Anderson fashion. So even if you like all this other stuff, if you're not in the mood to process like quiet desperation and stuff like that. You know, it's.
I felt like there were some trigger warnings, like with the death stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's widowers, there's widows, there's people who like are working through like intense issues,
depression or something.
Depression and stuff. There's also, I also feel like with Wes Anderson characters, you never see them go to a therapist really. So they're just talking about it with random people in like some fancy apartment or whatever, or like in between gigs, and they're like upper crust lives or whatever, which is kind of a interesting thing. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. But I feel like if you gotta modernize Wes Anderson film, you gotta have them go to therapy a little bit. So yeah, and like we said, if you're a person who would like see one of these cast members like Steve Carell or other mainstream actors in this, and you want to see them do their shtick that they're known for, instead of a Wes Anderson style film, then this is not for you.
Right.
They're gonna fall into like they're just like things to be manipulated by the director Wes Anderson as part of Wes Anderson's story. You know, they're just part of his like canvas that he gets to play with and paint and like paint his
like the Indian paintbrush.
Yeah, Indian paintbrush. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if that's appropriation or not.
I was wondering about that.
I was wondering about that. What's up with that? But I guess I don't know, so maybe it's not a big deal. So there you go. This is good for if you love Wes Anderson.
It's great if you love Wes Anderson.
It's absolutely great. Yeah. It's kind of peak Wes Anderson. It's Wes Anderson going all out Wes Anderson and stuff.
Yeah. Now we'll see what else he has up his sleeve later. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's interesting because like even some of Wes Anderson's latest stuff, like Grand Budapest Hotel or The French Dispatch, like those things kind of have like heavier themes, political themes and stuff. This one seems to go in a different direction with those political themes and stuff about like I don't know, about like a place in the U.S. dealing with like conflict and stuff like that, and yeah, I feel like he's kind of like maybe having commentary in a different way or something, but yeah, it's interesting how he's chosen to go in this direction after like having done stuff in like more of a European setting. So
how many conspiracies in a Wes Anderson film?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But also there's supernatural stuff in this, so whatever. And there's just people talking twee and weird, and you know, I mean, maybe the most supernatural thing in a Wes Anderson film is that everybody talks the same.
There you go, yeah.
So maybe that's the weirdest thing about Wes Anderson films.
No one in real life is this smart.
Everyone talks like that, and they always stand at the perfect 90-degree angle from the camera. And the shots are always perfectly framed. And everyone's walking at the right pace to get to the next destination. That's the real most freakiest thing. But yeah, that's of course part of the fun of a Wes Anderson film. It creates that tension in the filmmaking and the dynamism, the quiet dynamism that makes his films exciting on a small budget. Anyway.
Which is like the dream of the director, a small budget.
Yeah, he's like able to make the films compelling and watchable in a way that doesn't require like, you know, crazy CGI or blockbuster things and make it need to make $1 billion or anything like that. And that way he has more creative freedom, and he gets to explore the topics he wants to explore, and it gives him more leverage. If he's like, oh, I want to do this thing, it's like, well, how much is it going to cost? Well, it's going to be cheaper. It's like, oh, okay, go for it. It's going to make money for us? Yeah, sure. Okay, do it. So yeah, it's good for people who watch a lot of movies. Moving on, it's good for people who watch a lot of movies because it's got all the film references and stuff.
Has all of these like cinematic techniques in it and stuff.
All the cinematic techniques and illusions and stuff.
Like black and white. If you hate black and white, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah. It's also, and if you like recognizing actors, both in Wes Anderson ones and whatnot, and outside, then it's good for that.
Yeah.
It's also good for people who want something quietly emotional, you know, something a little different from like these blockbusters we're seeing lately. It does actually have some Barbie-like qualities, though. And maybe that's because Barbie's caught up to Wes Anderson. Blockbusters have caught up to Wes Anderson in that kind of way. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's my own kind of take on that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how these things are happening in parallel. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Asteroid City, and then Indiana Jones, which is like literally an octogenarian franchise going on right there. That's interesting, right? Anyway, let's see. Is there anything else? I think that's about it. Should we check out the tomato meter and the box office mojo?
If you want. The box office mojo sounds good to me, yeah.
Let's check out the box office mojo.
I have no idea. I haven't checked it for a while, yeah.
Box office mojo. Domestic, 57%, 28 million. International, 21 million. Worldwide, 49 million.
It did better in the U.S. than outside the U.S., which is every other country than the U.S.
Right, the whole world.
Yeah, people don't... Producers must... The distributors must hate this guy.
It must be pretty hard to, localize this film, right? How do you pitch this film to people outside the U.S.? I feel like the Meg...
How do you push this film to anybody?
Like the Meg 2, you can watch that anywhere in the world, and it does have a similar entertainment value. Fast and Furious, anyone can watch it.
Yeah.
You
need smart people to watch this film,
or I don't know,
or weird people.
Weird people.
Weird people like me.
You need people who are paying attention to film school dropouts or whatever, or film theory people and stuff.
Yeah.
People who use the words Criterion Collection in their dating profile online or whatever. But maybe that wouldn't happen as much outside the U.S. The U.S. has a big film culture.
I feel like this is more for people and their buddies rather than the family.
Yeah. It's not really all ages. It's not really all demographics. It's not really for older people. It's not really for...
I don't know. As
education,
as a 30-year-old, I don't know if I would bring my 50-year-old dad or a kid with me.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like Quentin Tarantino movies, even though they're filled with film references and stuff, I feel like a lot of people could appreciate a Quentin Tarantino film.
The dialogue and the action.
Yeah. There's nothing happening in certain ways if you think about it.
Okay.
I didn't mean to put it that way.
You have to hurt his feelings.
You know what I mean, though, right? You know what I mean. It's there's just people standing around talking to each other. What's that? But just
this is an alien.
All right. So.
What's the jetpack for? This is Thunderball.
Yeah. Oh, are they gonna do crazy stuff with the jetpack? It doesn't actually. It doesn't get that crazy. There's a reaction sequence. There's one segment where there's a lot of sci-fi inventions getting used and stuff, but it doesn't get.
It doesn't look very. It's not very toxic masculine. Right?
It's not like.
Very duty.
It's not like a Spielberg choreographed Star Wars action sequence. It's like Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything? It's like a stage play, I think other Wes Anderson films are stage plays too.
I don't know. Do you think this would get a bad Rotten Tomato score out of curiosity?
Do you want to check it out?
Why not check it out?
You want to guess the over/under or whatever?
I have no idea for Wes Anderson. I'm just curious what you're thinking it would be.
I think I already saw it by accident, so I disqualified.
I guess 90%.
For critics or audiences?
Yeah, for critics 90%. For audiences 40%.
Okay, let's check it out. Tomato meter.
Honestly, the audiences did not like it as much.
Audiences got 62%, but the critics gave it 75%. Wow.
So it's quite polarizing for the audiences.
I mean, maybe it's... Okay, here's the critics' consensus. This is what it says. Asteroid City is unlikely to win Wes Anderson many new converts, but those who respond to his signature style will find this a return to his immaculately arranged form. So, if you already like his stuff, you're gonna love it. Yeah. You're gonna love it. It's amazing.
I like this audience says thing too.
Yeah. Audience says Asteroid City is classic Wes Anderson, which may
may
or may not be a
compliment.
compliment, depending on how you feel about his other films. Period.
There you go, yeah. Perfect.
All right, so that's the summary. Classic Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Asteroid City.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
I think it's... Be open-minded. I think this is like pretty
good.
good.
It's on Peacock, come on.
It's free.
Just watch it.
It's free. Give it a try.
Yeah. Support the guy, man, yeah.
Give it a try. He's making $50 million.
Look at the production value.
I'm surprised he has an internet.
It's like a Blade Runner production value. You made like $50 million off it. Yeah.
I'm surprised he has an international box office.
There you go.
It's reaching that. I mean, there's Europe, I guess.
Canada.
Canada's
Canada.
international. Canada. We're Canada.
Canada and Europe is do that well anyway.
Yeah. Other two. Domestic. Let's see how Canada. I don't even see Canada here. Where's Canada? I don't think it's here. I don't know. France. 600. Oh, that's opening.
2 million, I think. On the left.
France, 2 million. Okay.
I don't know, like, it's a small country. Well, I think it's really a lot.
It's a pretty decently sized country.
Sometimes stuff can only do well in America. That's really where the revenue's from.
UK, 6 million.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's like a quarter of the audience.
Let's see, Germany.
Yeah. It's a lot of English there.
2.4 million. Yeah. Cool. Alright, watch the movie. At least on Peacock. You're not even giving them that much money on there, probably.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot. Feel free to skim it. Honestly, if we got some people to skim this movie on Peacock, that would be... And then maybe they think about watching it. Maybe we've done our job, you know?
Yeah. I'm wondering if they have it in the just sign up version of Peacock, like the free version, not even like if you have like the
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised because they just want people watching Wes Anderson and watching Peacock.
Yeah.
Both of them could use help.
Yeah.
Most people are going to be watching Mario probably.
There you go. Yeah.
If you're there to watch Mario,
stay for the Asteroid City.
For a little bit of Asteroid City. Give yourself a chance. And you might surprise yourself.
It's on now before like Oppenheimer shows up, which is in the same movie. Yeah. I mean, when they're both on Peacock, people will probably make the comparisons also.
Right.
Even on the same app.
Right. All right, we're coming up on 48 minutes on this now.
Oh, that's really cool, yeah.
So,
that's like half the movie.
Half the length of the movie. If you watch this whole review, you might as well watch the movie at this point. All right, cool. So, this was a fun time. This gets a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Check it out. Best movie of the year from PRpHD.
Yeah, probably best Wes Anderson film too. Yeah.
I think it's Wes Anderson in top form. I think it's a fantastic movie. It's worth watching. Skim it, watch it. Please watch it. But if you can't watch it, skim it. Do what you can. It's worth the watch. All right. All right. I think that's it. Mudita Art signing out.
PRpHD out.
And wait, was there any other things we should plug coming up?
I don't know what's happening next, but it's probably under a doc, right?
Let me see. We had the Asteroid City's coming up.
And the Batman 89, WandaVision.
Batman 89 rewatch, WandaVision,
Disney 100,
Disney 100. I think probably Disney 100 is coming up soon.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I think that might be one of the ones coming up
soon.
Good idea. It might even be a stream for that matter.
But we did I wanted to do Batman 89 before, but honestly, I only have like one comment about it. You know my comment,
Yeah. And then WandaVision or something.
Yeah.
That's old at this point, but we just watched
the Mario movie.
The Mario movie.
Also on Universal.
On Universal. So maybe it'll be the Mario movie. That could be a short one too, right? We don't have to say much about that. Little preview.
Yeah.
So Mario movie and Disney 100 and maybe WandaVision.
Mushroom Kingdom Hearts.
All right. Peace. Happy watching.
Happy watching.
Mudita Heart out.
PRpHD out.
Take care.